So this is the Burr Oak 2022 GNCC. I'll probably just talk for probably about maybe the first lap, and then after that I'll just let it play out. First lap was pretty good. Start's pretty entertaining. Get a very bad start. Had to pass a lot of people. Made a lot of good passes. Just take a different. The camera's going to be a little more downward because this race mountain road and I didn't trust it. And ran. Might have held it in my face. Didn't want to risk it. So the camera mount that I bought, it angles the camera a little bit differently underneath my helmet. So I'm going to see if I can get a different angle for the next race. And I may try to wear it on top. Talk with some guys, and I think the guy that works for GNCC that is anal about the GoPros, and is the only person to ever tell us to take them off. I haven't seen him, and I think he will. So it's a good reason. He's the only person that ever said anything about it. I'm glad he's gone, if he is gone. But I'm just holding my head down because this new mount kind of sticks the camera out in front of my visor about halfway. About half of the camera's in front of my visor, so it's a lot easier, a lot more noticeable. So I'm kind of hoping they don't say anything. And there was like multiple marshals that walked by me, never said anything to me, so I don't think it's an issue. I'm gonna slip it on up top and try to wear it on top next race. I put one on Landon Wolf, but the file was corrupt for some odd reason. It didn't get anything. It got. I tested it before I went to the line, watched it play and all that. I didn't get any footage, and it would have been good too because it got the whole shot. Pretty pissed off about that. So it didn't fire. I think it fired the first kick, but I think it died on me pretty quickly, and fired the second kick. Tried to go wide to pass that guy, but it was really loose out there, so I was sliding. I wasn't really able to get any traction. And this guy just slams on his brakes for some reason. Yeah, I stuck. I just bailed on it, screw it. And as soon as I bailed, that's when I noticed it. I don't know why he wouldn't run 4x4C. Wouldn't have this problem if he would just run in the correct class. Rode really good here today. I don't really particularly care for the track. It just, not that it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, to me, it just doesn't flow very well. But I always ride good here because it's a somewhat fast track, like I mentioned in the video before. I do better when it's a little bit more open. More lines and stuff that I can get around people, and it's just a track that you can you're in the third gear ish for a majority of the time. So like Ironman would probably be the track that fits me the best. When we used to go to Steel Creek, it was pretty much the same. Steel Creek was like wide open. There wasn't a whole lot of lines to pass. I don't think there was ever any section I had to go and just go into first gear. I try not to yell at people in my class, but this guy's clearly probably just showed up just for this race because there were 16 people in my class, and I was the only person not from Ohio. Well, there was one other guy who was from northern West Virginia. So it was 14 guys were from Ohio. One guy was from northern West Virginia, and I was from North Carolina. So I was the only guy. And when I signed up in the morning, there was 7 people signed up at 8:30, and there were 16 people on the line. So it was like a bunch of people just came for one race. If it would have been like a guy racing for points or whatever, I'm not gonna wait. That was a stupid line of me. He pulled over that, so that was my fault. We had probably about the best conditions that you could ask for. You could really run this. You could have ran this race 20 times if you wanted to. It rained the morning before and really kept a lot of dust down in the field. The afternoon the race got dusty, but ours was race. I think at the end of my race, you probably I basically only took about 10 minutes to clean the whole quad off and then got back home. Started washing it Sunday because it's basically just dust and a little bit of mud around the bottom, like around the hill guards and stuff. But other than that, it was very easy to clean up the race, especially for him. Benton's weird to me. It'll be dry dirt, and then 15 feet later it'll be slick like that, like I was just slick, and it's just crazy how it's really slick in some spots and then dry and nice, and then you'll go right back to it like dry and nice. So right now it's dry, and it's just weird how the dirt changes drastically in a short period of time. Like it's slick right there again. You would think it would be dry because it's out there. Again, I'm sorry for the camera pointing down. It might not be a big deal to everybody else, but you can't really see what's coming up all that great. I'm pretty particular about the way my camera's set up and how it looks and if it gets muddy. So I try to wipe it a lot. I don't think I got anything on the camera the whole race. I wiped it a few times. I don't think anything got on it. So the conditions were so good. That's why I'm kind of bummed about Landon. Because I know it was a lot of good. He's gonna race buckwheat. I'll try it again. He's not racing the Ironman. So on that Ironman, I may try to put it on Hayden Nicholson. I go with the DeRisi guys. So we take our quads up there. I'm sure Hayden wouldn't mind. He's mentioned it before, so. I'm just now catching the back end of my class, aside from the other two. Pretty much this whole first part of from the start to about the 3 mile marker where it goes back into the woods and starts getting slick was super fun. I really like this. This guy's not in my class. I really like this, that part. First 3 miles, and then like the last 2 or 3 miles really fun. In the middle, it was really slick. Just the normal woods part, normal woods sections, and it's like rocky and basically the same stuff. This part up the hill was a little different than all the other years, and this was really fun. Really from here to about the next couple of miles. I picked a good line up here. Actually, the line around to the left was faster, but I never took this line again for the rest of the race. But I just needed to make a pass. I didn't care if it was muddy or not. And it was pretty cool to jump up this hill. I knew about this just from previous years. Again, that's just a guy that I don't recognize him at all. He just was running one race, so I'm not really worried about it. So I'm trying to get him out of the way. He's not really racing for points like I am. Because right now, if my math is correct, the guy that's winning is, I did my best 8 and everybody else's best 8, because I've only raced 8. And if my math is correct, I'm only 2 points behind second and third. Second and third are tied. First place guy is his best 8 is I think 6 points ahead. Or what I do is I just add up best finishes, and the best finishes are whoever's got the lowest score, obviously, in the finishes heads. So the guy in first, I think, has 24. If you add up his best 8, or no, 26 or something like that. And the next 2 guys have 30, and I have 32. So I think I'm 2 points. Oh, and that wood right there hits my shoulder. I mean, it felt like somebody. I mean, I'm hitting it, pretty good ways in third gear. They're probably like 30 or 40 miles an hour, and it's like somebody just came and just, tomahawked that piece of wood on my shoulder. I mean, it hurt. Like I'm struggling right now. I don't even know. I know it's not broken, but I just wonder. It's like one of those things. Like I'm wondering if the adrenaline's making it a lot less than what it really is. Because I mean, even right now, it's hurting pretty good. It hurts the whole race. It still hurts me right now. It finally just got a little bit better yesterday afternoon. I'm real rich here now. That was a joke. I do work out a lot. I'm like 5'10", about 200 pounds. But it hurt me pretty good. It didn't leave a bruise, surprisingly, but you could tell there's some blood underneath the skin. I'm getting a drink of water that I was pushing right through there, so I was kind of thirsty. That's why I was going so slow right through that little part. What you hear rattling around is my kicker, and the bushing or whatever. I replace it every year. Usually at the end of the year, it goes bad and it starts rattling around. That was pretty fun. It was like a little ditch or whatever. You kind of come up to it and just kind of tap the gas and kind of wheel it. This is all the same stuff. And those dips that you see where I slow down are hitting the bottom of my deeply. I wish the camera made that noticeable. So I'm at the back end of my class. The guy in front of me is leading points, and the guy in front of him is either second or third points. I think second. They both raced them all, so that's the reason. But I probably can't catch the guy on the red Honda, but the blue Yamaha. I have a couple of places. If I go to Ironman and have that drop on my 5th place and finish about 2 of those, I think 2 or 3, that could help. But the guy that's in front of them, all these 2 or 3 guys are in my class, but the guy that's in the very front that you can't see, the 4x4, is I don't. It just baffles me. This guy he's pretty fast for his age. I won't lie, but it's just him and like one or two other guys in his class. Okay, he has won every single race all year but one, and most of the time he wins by like 15 to 20 minutes. This guy, you'll watch. He'll pull over, let one guy, and immediately get over so fast that he actually almost wrecks the person in front of him. So watch the blue Yamaha when he gets over. He clips him, and then he clips the guy in the red Honda getting over. And I'm gonna have to mute the camera in here because I literally am just yelling at him for a fucking mile, like a mile straight to move out of the way. See, he hit the guy on the red, and when he passes, he just moves over just for one quad, and he has a train behind him, and all the people in my class end up. By the time he lets me by, my class is caught back up to him. So I've lost the whole gap I've put on. Oh, never mind. He actually lets him by, but he does clip the guy in the. He has plenty of chance. He could have moved over right there. And like I said, it's just him and like one other guy in his class, and a lot of times he beats that guy by a lap. Usually he's a lap ahead. I mean, what are you racing for? This is what I was talking about. Like these guys think that they're going to be professionals at this, and they've got to. I mean, like he could have pulled. I let people by right there on the second or third lap. So like he could have pulled over right there. He could have pulled over right there. I'm just gonna have to mute it because I'm just yelling. It's just all you hear is me yelling. Because like he could have just held up for like a quarter of a second right there, and I could have got around. It's not much I can do when the guy's just like right in the middle, and I've almost had to rub rub tires with him before just to try to get around. Like why can't you stop? Like why? Like I mean, I'll give him credit for like a 50-year-old dude. He's and riding a Can-Am and literally not standing up at all. He's decently quick, but he's by far the most difficult person I've ever encountered in any race series. Mid East, GNCC. Well, those are the only two I've raced. Um, People talk bad about the Niowa guys, but I think this guy right here takes the cake because every race he holds me up like pretty badly, unless I can just find a way or like unless I just get lucky and get him in a field section. It's uh it's very difficult to get around him. Well, he could have pulled over right there. There was a line that I missed up here that I could have, or back there that I could have taken. It wasn't a line that had been grooved in yet, so I didn't notice it. Not really good enough just to take random lines that, you know, I'm not a pro, so I don't see things that well. I'm getting pretty irritated right here, like just irritated. Like I know he knows I'm here because his four wheeler's not very loud, unless he just has hearing problems or wears earplugs or something. I know a lot of guys wear earplugs, but he hears me when I get closer to him because he immediately pulls over. But I don't know if he hears. He's got to hear me the other times. I just feel like maybe he just got tired of hearing me yelling. Again, the sound picks up here in a second, and he finally lets me over. I yelled "move" really loud right here, and he pulls over like right there. Like you got 20 other places you could have pulled over, and now now there's a bunch of people behind me. they're probably going to yell at me because they think I'm slower, but it's not me, it's this dude. That was pretty slick right there. There was a dude that was at that turn later on in the race and gets stuck right there. Now there's people yelling at me, and they probably are faster than me, so I'll let them by. But I don't know that it's not people in my class that just think I'm slower, or other people that. So usually what happens in that, I'll give them a second if they're still behind me after a quarter mile or something like that. They're still yelling or revving their engine or whatever. Then and I know that guy can hear me because like my four-wheeler's way louder than his. You can barely hear his. I could hear that guy yelling clear as day behind me. Again, maybe he wears earplugs. I don't know. You should at least look back. You can feel when people are behind you. He could see me in that sharp left-hand turn. He could have pulled over for a second right there rather than make me ride behind him from that, along that straightaway was. Again, this track just doesn't have, I don't know, there's something about the flow. This is just the same old stuff we ride every year for Hinton or Burr Oak or whatever. This is the part that I didn't really care for. Last year, two guys got stuck on this hill climb right up here, and I went around and they ended up going, so I was like debating on whether to go, and I was like, well, I'll just take it. I don't want to get up there and get stuck, because last year I did the same thing, and then right as soon as I went around, I guess the guy got hung up, and 3 or 4 of the guys in my class passed me, or a few people in my class, and like a train, so they were still there, so that was a good decision to go around. I brought a lot of people with me, so I guess it was a good decision. Last year I didn't record the Buckwheat, which is the next race, and I really, really like that track. Favorite track. I'm looking forward to that one here in about a week and a half now. Yeah, see, like that guy literally said, "I'm not in your class." I could hear it, and there's not really anywhere for me to pull over right here, so that guy watching this. I'm going as fast as I feel comfortable. Yeah, and he says thank you. So like, I can hear everything that people are saying behind me in a much louder four-wheeler in a faster section. I don't know why that other guy would. I guess he's 50 years old, so he might become XC1 one day. There's always a chance, I guess. Those dudes are fast. Like I think they race 30+C, and they could probably win Vet B if they wanted to, or definitely could win Senior B if they wanted to. They could probably do pretty well in Vet B. Up here, there's a switchback. If you watch the GNCCs a lot, Bryce and Neal made a pass on Walker Fowler there. He went up like the side of a bank, and now that line is more grooved in, and people take it. And I don't think I've ever seen somebody successfully make it up. On the last lap, 2 guys got stuck on it. I mean, it heeled straight up. You probably won't be able to tell anything in the camera, but it's like right here. It's like right to the left right there. and he comes up, not right there, but right here, like right there, but right in front of that, on the right side of that tree. And multiple people tried to take it on like the third or fourth lap, and none of them made it up there. I'd always just go around right there. It's not really worth the extra quarter second. For Bryson, he was able to pass Walker there. And actually, I think the first time he tried it, he rolled the four-wheeler back down and hopped back on and did it again the next lap and made it up and passed Walker there. So he attempted it on one lap, didn't make it, rolled back down, decided to try it again on the second lap when he was right behind Walker and made it, and was able to make the pass last year or the year before. So it was pretty crazy. They got it on Racer TV. So that was it. That was that section right there. Now the track kind of opens up a little bit more, and there's lines all over the place. We're kind of more in the section that I'm on the water. I think this is right around the 8-mile marker. We skipped either the 6th or 7th. Because if that's an afternoon section, they do that kind of like rock garden area, and then you go climb. So it really isn't much to do. It's just kind of a couple step ups. So I ended up fourth after fourth out of 16. Same old. The guy that I mentioned in the last race that used to race College A, the Sandbags, he came to this. He was 1 minute and 58 seconds ahead after the first lap. He won. He beat the guy that's in first in points. He beat him by I think over 3 minutes. And then that guy won or beat third place by another 2.5 or close to 3 minutes. So that College Ace, I was called College Ace Sandbagger. He pretty much won by, because I know the guy that's winning our class is Sandbagger. He pretty much won by 7 minutes or 6 or 7 minutes again, something like that, whatever it is. But to be 2 minutes ahead of second place after one lap, to me, it's just pathetic. But he won, so he can't race anymore C classes. It doesn't matter what. He can't even go down to 16 to 19 C next year. He has to race B or just sit on the couch. So if I see him in C class, I'm here on. Because if you win three races, it doesn't matter. You can't be in C class next year. And if you either win the championship or get C or win 3 races, you can't race it. And if you get second or third and you race and you win more than 2, or I think if you win 2 or something like that, you can't race. You have to move to B class also. So I think if I was to get like second or third in the series and win the next 2, I would have to move. I don't see that happening. I'm gonna let that guy by right there, but he didn't take the good lines. We're getting back close to the finish. Even though I pulled a gap away from those guys already, I decided to slow down. I probably won't. Nothing else to really say. This part was really tight right there. I ended up, I think I was fourth after the first lap, and I was fourth at the end of every other lap. The guy that was in third, he's in second in points. He gapped me up about 15 20 seconds for the first two laps, and then I was able to kind of reel it back in. Ended up, I think he ended up being 38 seconds ahead of me. If we got another lap, there's a possibility I could have caught him. Every one of my laps was getting faster and his was getting slower by about 30 seconds. So a lot of the training I did in the heat was paying off. I didn't want a fifth lap, but I would have been fine with a fifth lap. I wasn't really expecting this to be a 5-lap race. So after the third lap, when I came around to get when I came around for my fourth lap, my plan was to sprint, but I got the 2-lap card, so I was like, well, I can't really sprint, so I was actually kind of taking it easy. When Landon finally caught me about 2 or 3 miles from the end, that's when I decided to ride a little bit harder. I really wasn't expecting a 5-lap race here. I don't think we've ever got 5 laps here, or every one I've raced. Most of the time it's 3 laps. I don't think I've ever got 4 laps here, to be honest with you. I think it's all been 3-lap races. So that's why I was kind of a little caught off guard when I got a 2-lap card. So. This is just around the tree line area, like kind of where you can get some trackside parking. Nothing really happened that I can think of at this point. I rode really good, didn't have any issues. Really not a whole lot of people caught me. I kind of got to ride by myself for a while, which was nice. Grabbing my Camelback right there. This is stuff I really like. This section, these parts through here and stuff. This is my style. I feel like I'm going so slow in this video. I'm leaning off the side of the bike and everything. This is where I basically jumped off at. This is the start. Right back by the start. Right where we first initially went into the woods. Sorry about the camera being sort of pointed down. I'd wear it underneath my visors to try to hide it, so that way I can actually get some footage. You know, heaven forbid you wear a camera on your, that's sticky to your top of your helmet. But I do it that way that way I can kind of put my hands around it or hold my head down and do the start to kind of hide it. That way they don't notice it. But this one, it usually just hangs straight down. Like I put the sticky, the mount on the bottom side of the visor, and then the camera just hangs down and points forward. Well, on this one, the new mount, the camera hangs down and then it 90 degrees off of it, and then so the mount is it's 90 degrees the other way. It doesn't really hang down. It hangs down and then it has like a bend. So I had it pointed as high as I could and put it, basically the top of the camera is right up against the bottom part of my visor, so I couldn't physically go up the mount anymore, and that's the best I could do. I even pushed it up so much because I knew it was going to be angled down, just because of wearing these. I know where to kind of angle the camera to where it gets the best view. But I knew it was going to be angled down, so I pushed it up against my visor so much that the lip on the visor actually started to bend a little bit. So I didn't want to break my visor. So again, next time I will, I'm going to attempt to wear it on top. I'm going to put a GoPro on Landon's if he doesn't care, which I don't think he will. I'm going to put a GoPro on his quad, and then I'm going to try to wear it on mine. If they tell me to take it off before I take off, I I'll hopefully at least get footage from land, unless I don't know what happened with it today. I tested it before I went, right when I was getting ready. Tested it, it worked fine. A little test video. I can watch the test video. Then all I do is usually just test it, let it play for a couple seconds, just that way I know the battery is good. Because I'll usually use the battery just to make sure that it's actually charged overnight. I don't want to start it and only have like 50%. So I have 2 batteries, so I charge them both. Did my little test video, it worked out perfectly fine. And put it on his quad and started it right after the national anthem, right after they called him up there, right when he was on the line, and watched the screen, because I put the Hero 9 on his quad, because I have to wear the smaller one underneath my visor. So I put the good one on his. So I watched the video play for like 2 or 3 seconds on the back of the screen. It was going perfectly. Nothing was no indication of like error or anything. I figured it was fine and walked off. Then when I went to load them, there was no videos on there, and it got my test video, and then it got a 269 kilobyte video that wouldn't even let me play on any player, even after I fixed it, or ran a scan and fixed it. It still wouldn't play it, so it wouldn't play a single second of it. So that kind of sucked. That's kind of bummed. Not much I can do. I don't know if it's the SD card was corrupted or what, but like I said, it let me play the test video. I can load the test video up, and it shows the side of the truck for 2 or 3 seconds or whatever, and it shuts off. I'm just going to do the same thing I did last time. If it doesn't play it again, I'm just going to say that the video card is something's wrong with the card. I'll just buy a new one. I put the bigger card in his. I put a 64 gig in the camera I've got here, and I've got 128 gig that I put in the Hero 9, because it creates a lot more. Like this GoPro does 17 minutes and 42 seconds per segment before it, because I think it does 3.73 gig, and then it starts a new section. Well, the Hero 9, each section is only like 8 minutes and 50 seconds, and it's still 3.73 gigs. So it creates a lot more segments. I think there's like 14 or 15, whereas this one only does. This camera got like an hour and 20 some odd minutes, and it only did 5 seconds. Now you have to have a lot bigger card, so I put the bigger one in the. So I'll try to get more video there. I'm gonna shut up now. Let you watch. If anybody's even still watching at this point. But, I'll see you at Big Buck, or not Big Buck, but Buckwheat. See ya.